Hi guys, welcome back to B's Speed Shop. So in today's video I'm going to be replacing my door jamb with a new pressed panel. So before I can cut the old door jamb out, I need to remove this panel because there's like a lip. So when I'm trying to cut this piece out, I don't want to be cutting into this. So what I'm going to try and do is remove this and try and save it so I can use it again because it's in pretty good shape. There's no rust holes or anything on it. There's a bit of surface rust which can be cleaned off. So I've got to drill out the spot welds along this edge. I think there's a little bit here where it joins the two where I need to drill the spot welds out, and then I can try and get this panel off so I can then scribe a line where I need to cut along this door jamb, and then I can remove the door jamb, just clean up that area, and then I can get the new one welded in. So I drilled out all the spot welds along this edge, and there were just 4 spot welds along this seam where it was holding this panel in. So I've got that panel out now, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of repair work down on this bottom corner. It's rusted out, so I'll probably just sort of come up here somewhere, cut a piece out and then make a piece just to go in there somewhere. But other than that, the rest of it's all solid. It needs a good clean with a wire wheel, so I'm just going to quickly clean up this area, and then I'll get my door jamb panel and I'll put it in and just measure it and then mark up where I need to cut this one out. What I'll probably do is I'm going to leave this corner in because that's all solid just there. So what I'll do is I'll come here somewhere where it's flat, and then I can just blend the two in together, just put like a seam weld along down there. Obviously on the panel I've still got to punch the holes along this edge and along this edge for all the spot welds. And then what I'll do is I'll mark it about here somewhere on this edge. So what I'll do is I'll cut that piece out. What I might do is cut this edge off at the same time. So then obviously I can get in there, do the spot welds in this bit. So I've cut a little section out of this where it was rusted away. So obviously you can see here where it's rusted through the door jamb piece. There's a few little bits there and one there where it's rusted through as well. But I mean, I've cleaned all the paint off of this door jamb, and if I show you all the way along, it's all fairly solid all the way along. So what I'm thinking of doing is, rather than replacing the whole sill, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end off of this, probably about 6 inches or so along that section, and then what I'll do is I'll cut this piece out and just replace that corner. I don't see the point of replacing all of it if it doesn't need to be replaced. I'll just weld in the new section for this bottom corner, and then once that's welded in I can make a little repair patch for this bit and just seam weld it along that edge. So what I'll do is I'm going to roughly get my door jamb into place, mark this where it needs to be cut, mark that, cut it to length, and then try and fit it in, and if it all fits okay, then I'll set up the welder and get it welded in. So the reason I cut out just this corner, because I was trying to be careful not to cut through this piece on the inside. I have grazed it a little bit just up there, but I think that should be okay. So what I'll do is I'll measure out where I want to cut it, just here somewhere. I'll make a line, cut that off, and then I'll just test fit the actual the panel, just to make sure this lines up. Obviously I know I've got to grind a little bit off of this, but I just want to make sure I'm roughly in the right place. So I'll quickly measure and cut this piece, and then I'll test fit the actual door jamb. So I've just roughly cut my repair patch to the length I need. I mean, there is a little bit of a gap just here, but I'm not too bothered about that. I can weld along there and then grind it back. A little bit of grinding just along this edge, just to make it fit a bit snugger. At the moment they are overlapping a little bit, so what I'll do is just grind this edge, and then I'll quickly punch my holes in the two flanges as well, so I can do the spot welds. And I might just have to make a little patch just to fill up this corner, but I mean it fits pretty well, so I'll quickly make it fit a bit better and then I'll weld it in. So I've got my panel mostly fitting right now. So you can see I've got this end, it's all lined up. There is a little bit of a gap at the far edge there. What I can do is I'm going to put a few tack welds along these edges, and once I'll put a few clamps on it as well, along this edge and along this bottom edge. And once I get a few of these spot welds done, then I'll use one of my metal hammers and just to hammer that edge in so there's a nice tight gap there, and then I can do those spot welds along that edge and then weld that seam along there as well. So I will get the welder set up and then put a few tacks in and get it fitting. So I've got my little repair piece partially welded in now. I've done like a few of the spot welds, and I've done a bit of welding on the seams. Obviously I've started to grind some of it back already, and this one's come up pretty good. See, there's not much of a bump there or anything where I've ground it, so it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Obviously what I've got to do is come back and make a few of these holes along this edge a little bit bigger. So what I'll just use a 8mm drill and just drill those out, and then I can come back and do the spot welds all the way along, and then finish these spot welds as well, and any little holes along these bits like just here. And this one's pretty solid, so I'm pretty happy with that. There is a slight step down on this piece because this length here was slightly shorter than this length, so I just tried to get it somewhere in the middle so it didn't throw these off too much. But I'm pretty happy with how it's gone, so I can finish grinding these back and finish getting it welded in. So I was able to get my little patch welded in today for the door jamb. I'm pretty happy with how that's gone, even though there is a little bit of a step in the transition between the two pieces, but I'll figure something out to fix that. You probably won't see it anyway because the door is going to be up there, so it doesn't matter too much. But I'm pretty happy with how everything's gone today, so thanks for watching this video.